Ryan, thank you for taking some time out from a very, very busy day to come and join us and look ahead to Stade Francais, the Principality Stadium, by looking back at some personal memories from when the Ospreys have played Stade Francais previously.
Got a few memories here, Pete, haven't we, over the years?
We've got a few, good and bad, but mainly good.
Mainly good, yeah. It's great to be back, mate. It's changed a bit, mate. Look at it. It's like a nightclub in Marbella.
So we've saved paying you wages now, haven't we? So if we look back, 2006-07 season, Stade Francais, we went out there in the October. No Welsh team had beaten them out there in European competition. A tough old game. Ospreys in a very, very good position. Unfortunately, didn't see the task off out there, and that was the first defeat we had in Heineken Cup that season.
Yeah, I remember going to the ground on with this mystique around them. You know, to go. We turned up when we had the pink tackle bags and all this type of caper. It was fantastic. I remember full house. It was bouncing there, big crowd, and that's the one Hookie missed 4 penalties in, is it?
That's the one, yes.
He's got a lot to answer for, that Hookie, mind. He cost us Saracens away as well. You know, that boy could have done better. There's no doubt in that. But no, he's. I don't mean that. No, look, we've got some fantastic games. They're one of Europe's big teams, aren't they? You know, when that fixture list comes out, you know, that's when you watch out for because of the mystique around it. But again, it was a tough day. Probably should have won, could have won. But again, it's like a lot of games you look back on in your career. You could have, should have, but we didn't. But we did. We have them back here then. Later on.
Yeah, round 5 back here after good wins against Calvisano in the double header. Yeah,
and we come from behind.
Yeah, I think we were 10 or 13 points behind with going to the final quarter. Nicky Walker scored under the posts.
That's right.
And we were going into added time with a 3-point lead. I don't know what happened next.
Steve Tandy gave away a penalty, didn't he? I remember just round about halfway, was it? I didn't think he'd kick it, but lo and behold, 50-yarder later, Steve Tandy still owes me my bonus and Aldi from that. You know, and Lloydie, all the boys, never let him forget this.
Now, 2 things that take you to task on there. That I didn't think he'd kick it was a legendary quote. And we'd like to confirm who said that quote.
That'll be me.
And looking at the penalty decision, I know Steve Tandy was not only irate that the fact that we failed to qualify for the quarterfinals meant he lost his bonus and lost his holidays, something Andy Lloyd has also picked up on this morning. But Steve Tandy was also doubly upset. He had the double whammy of being blamed in the press for conceding the penalty incorrectly.
Yeah, there may have been a discrepancy over who gave away the penalty here. So I suppose after 10 years now, I think I probably can admit to the fact it was me. I still this day didn't mean to, and I still this day didn't think he'd kick it, but he did kick it, and it cost us a Heineken Cup quarter-final place. And it is one of those things that you can look back on now, but it still haunts you to this day, really, because I think we only lost one game, was it?
Yeah, as luck would have it, we went away to Sale the following weekend. Won up there to complete the double over them, and we had a record of 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. And because of what happened over in Ireland in Munster, we became the first team not to qualify for the knockouts, having only lost 1 game.
That's not really a sort of record I'm proud of, Pete, if I'm honest, but there you go.
Chatting about that with Andy Lloyd and Tandy, they seem to think that after we'd beaten Sale on the final day, you got on the bus and said, "That's it, boys, we're through."
I said that?
That's what they are saying.
No. This story gets better and better.
But the fact that Munster were about to kick off out in Leicester, Leicester were about to kick off out in Munster half an hour later, needing to do what no team had ever done, which was defeat Munster at Thomond Park in the European competition.
This is Tandy and Lloydie getting carried away now. I think he's been a bit imaginative with the truth there, but it's never stopped Tandy, is it, or Lloydie really, so God bless him. But no, we'll have to chalk that one down as a few porky pies there, I think.
If you insist. If you move forward 10 years now, and we've got a quarter-final tie against Stade Francais coming up on the 2nd of April. We all know there are sort of off-field shenanigans going on in France at the moment, but it's a game that we're preparing for and looking forward to, and it should be a good occasion with Stade Francais, who obviously are one of the most recent French champions, coming to play the Ospreys at the home of Welsh rugby.
Yeah, I think everything around this makes it exciting. You know, we know the French thrive on a drama, and whatever happens, they'll come out the other side and they'll be gunning for a big fixture. And there's nothing that unites teams, players, like some sort of crisis. So we've got that through the mix. It is the best rugby stadium in the world as well, you know. And I think the way the Ospreys have gone about moving it, managing it, promoting it, I think, you know, should be applauded. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for people who wouldn't necessarily get the opportunity to go to Cardiff to watch rugby, to go and embrace it. And it's not often you get to go there, you know, for wearing your club colours as well, if you're like really sort of championing that. Again, I think I'm going to be there. I'm taking my boy and his rugby team as well, because I think it's a fantastic rugby occasion, and I think the rugby's going to be good. I'm been so impressed with the way the Ospreys have performed this year, that I think, despite losing players for certain periods of the year, as they always do, to see the character with which, you know, this team play, I think, you know, the coaching team, the management team should be very proud of and take a lot of credit for as well. I think, you know, on that foundation and on that basis, going to Cardiff, giving a great account of themselves, they won't be looking forward to coming and facing that Ospreys team there. And, you know, I think all the ingredients are there for great European Cup rugby. And as we know, as we've talked about, anything can happen, you know.
And hopefully it'll kick off April and May, a busy period of lots of huge games for the Ospreys, which hopefully will keep on going right till the final weekend of May, with a couple of big knockout games to come in the final weeks of the season.
Well, and this is something the Ospreys have prided themselves on. They're always like to be in the business end of competitions, and again, I think they've shown this year that they certainly deserve to be there, and there's no reason why they won't be involved right up until the final weekend, Pete. I think, as I said, the character the team has shown, the skill, I think the manner in which they play, and probably more importantly, allows them to be competitive on all fronts and at all levels. I think this team is capable of competing with the best out there.
And here's hoping there are no incidents where players are left ruined, lost bonuses and no holidays this summer.
No unnecessary penalties, especially by the coaching staff.